What does a Supercross championship mean?
Supercross, I feel like it definitely is more dangerous. If you get a little bit cross-rutted and go off the track, you have concrete.
Everything's very tight. The margin of error is not very big.
The money is unreal. You know, we can make in one night 100 grand for a main event.
For a championship, we can make $1 million.
The stakes are higher. You want to win the biggest championship that we have, and that's Supercross.
Saturday night, when you're on the main event starting line, that's the time that I really, really live for. You can feel in the air guys that are nervous, guys that are second-guessing themselves.
It's under the lights. It's, 40+ thousand fans there. It's really the modern-day gladiator.
On January 11th, the 2025 Supercross Championship will begin at Anaheim 1, also known as A1. It commences the most prestigious championship in dirt bike racing. Chase Sexton, Jett Lawrence, and Hunter Lawrence are among the favorites. This is the countdown to Race 1. On a remote plot of land in the Southern California desert sits the Honda Supercross test track. For decades during the months of December and early January, it has hosted suspension testing days as teams prepare for Supercross.
On the rhythms, coming out into a rhythm like this, double out into that right-hander, yes, the thing feels low because it's going through more.
Felt like the shock was definitely a little more aggressive, like feeling-wise, like a little harsher.
Suspension setup may be the most important factor in determining a rider's ability to ride a bike with confidence. The rear shock and front fork are the connection between the rigid frame and the wheels of a dirt bike. The settings and options between the two are virtually limitless.
The loops, I felt like you get in and every 2 to 3 you were making an adjustment because it would go like tat, 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 tat.
I'd be keen to weave the length of the shock now, but open the check valve back up and add a restrictor. Yeah, I think right now, especially with the boys going to Paris and Australia, that took 3 weeks out of our development time. So we're trying to cram a lot into a very short period of time, develop a new motorcycle, work with new parts, and then even develop some new settings.
For defending Supercross champion Jett Lawrence and his brother Hunter, they have the unique advantage of taking on this challenge as a team, using the same bike and sharing their feedback freely with each other.
The harsher, like hit harder.
The goal is to try and get the bike into a window that the boys can ride a soft track, a hard track. So there's a certain window. And that's why I love suspension, because it is, I call it the impossible job. You will never get it correct. You will get it in a window, and then the athlete knows, oh yeah, I know how it reacts. When it does this wrong, I know how to react with it, and it does it the same every time. So we're trying to find a base setup that we go, oh, we're in the window. The boys can compensate for the rest. What do you reckon, Derek? Because I still don't like, when they come around the end of that route at the end, I still think that their hands move too much on that bump.
The situation with Darren Lawrence is super unique. He is a huge part of our success. He's more of a team member than just the dad of the brothers. We're able to have conversations with them, and it's not a one-way conversation. It's not just, you need to do this for my kid. It's, hey, this could be better. How do you suggest we do that? And then we have a conversation, and he listens, and he's able to say, you know what, yeah, I think you're right on that. I'm thinking this, but you're right.
I want the bladder to be our freaking fine-tuning. Like, oh yeah, we're gonna do this.
Yeah, but it's not a fine-tuning adjustment. It's
a pretty big
character adjustment.
Okay. Coming from real-world business, there's no us and them. If you're in a project together, you need to work together and be 1,000% honest. We got to work with a manufacturer who's gonna spend 6 million, 8 million, 10 million, I have no clue. But there's 8 to 12 people working to help your son succeed every day. How could you not love them and want to try and help them? Why would you ever alienate yourself to go against that entity.
That fork, I'm happy with that. I think is in a really good position of, all right, let's try it at different places.
Hunter is definitely the consummate professional. For a lot of riders, going testing and working on the bike, it's kind of miserable. You know, they want to get out of there early. I think Hunter, and I'm sure he's learned this from Darren, from his dad, is you know, you put the work in right now so that you can get the bike and everything you need in order, so that makes the race easier, you know. And he's really understood all that.
The fork's in a good spot.
Yeah.
I think the shock is better, but obviously there's the whoops thing, which is, I guess, just fine tuning.
I'm probably gonna look back at this in like 20 years and be like, wow, I was a part of that, because it's just an awesome time to be a part of Honda HRC right now. And most of that comes with the Lawrences, you know.
Beautiful.
You guys had a great run. When Dungey came, you started winning.
Dungey's gonna make a statement. He goes right for the whole shot, and he's got it. Dungey, he's the winner as he lights the candle.
You won with Cooper.
Cooper Webb, take a bow. You're a two-time champion.
You were the team to beat there for a while. What has been the challenge, and why is it that the top step of the podium isn't a KTM?
Webb cuts back under, but not far enough, and Chase Sexton makes his way by.
Sticky as Cooper Webb gets clipped from behind. Sexton gets it from behind.
At that time, when things weren't going to plan, we started to look at who we thought could be next on the radar, and Chase just stuck out. He was super talented. He had lots of speed. He had won races. So I thought it was just a matter of time for him to fight for championships.
2022, Cooper Webb lost the Supercross championship on the KTM. 2023 is a little better. Cooper Webb came back until he was injured, but there has been a dry spell here for a championship. Do you understand that this is your role, is to come here and get them that championship?
Yeah, I'm fully aware of my role, and some people don't like the pressure. Some people run and try to hide from it, but for me, this is where I wanted to be ever since I've got on a dirt bike.
It's not any better. It's the same.
Same? Yeah. Okay. So we can stick with this direction with this this spring then? Perfect.
Really, I was looking for a group of people that I could surround myself with that had the same mentality that I had. They'll do anything it takes to win. I have a really good group of people around me, and that's something that is really hard to find. Now that I have it, I'm very motivated, and yes, my job is to win.
Chase Sexton came to the Red Bull KTM race team from Honda before the 2024 Supercross season. It was a strange decision for many in the industry, given that Sexton had just reached the pinnacle of the sport by winning the 2023 Supercross championship. As the 2024 Supercross season unfolded, the decision to change teams and bikes at the peak of his career was called into further question.
JT, I think we just saw Sexton down and down hard in the corner before the whoops. Sorry to cut you off, but Sexton is down and he is not getting up.
From this current season, 2024, going into 25, we definitely had a clear vision of what he prefers. And we went to Florida a few weeks ago. We did a few weeks of testing there. Then he's ridden with that, and then he came out here, and there's a few things he wanted to dial in.
Maybe a little bit better. Okay. So that's the direction. That's
Not perfect, but a little better.
yeah, it's
Okay.
a small bit.
Okay. The stats for it is still like 1 millimeter left. So we had to run through these steps with him. A couple things we thought would help him. It was 50-50. One or two helped, but he was quick to tell me that it wasn't enough. They told me the last setting you take that shock all day because it moves. Is that
I
right?
mean, it's definitely better, but I'm not saying it's like,
It's not.
it's not, we need
It's not
we-
perfect,
Yeah.
but it's better than what it was.
It's better in the whoops. It doesn't, I'm still not able to do the stuff in the rhythms I want to do.
Okay. But from what I can see on the track, I think we are chipping away. We're getting closer. That's my personal feeling. Chase is fast, eh? holy smoke. I saw lap times because you know how fast Juju is. He's over a second and a half faster per lap.
My mum and dad are farmers out at Chinchilla, about 4 hours inland, and just old school farmers. Work ethic is what was bred in you. No one's going to give you nothing, and you're going to fail many times. Any millionaire, any sports person that you speak to, every one of them have had to fail. The only person that never fails is someone who does nothing. You just got to keep on picking yourself up and keep on going, you know.
Car conversations. I want a Lambo and I want a this, like that's my dream. And Dad, what's your dream? He'd say, I just want to work for you boys. That's all. He said, I want you boys to achieve your goals and dreams and I just want to work for you. That's all. And pretty cool that that's a living reality right now. We employ our father and he's our biggest asset we have.
My role here at the farm is literally to make sure Jett and Hunter don't have to worry about anything here. They still can focus on what they need to do. So as a father working for your sons, you're going to work harder for your sons than any person ever. If you don't, there's something wrong with you. So for me, working 10 hours every day, hours on Sunday when I land back from the races, come back here to get tracks ready, that's how I show to my boys that I appreciate the life and the sacrifices they made to enable us to have the life we have.
While it is the younger brother Jett who is on his way to rewriting the record books in off-road motorcycle racing, understanding why Jett is so good begins with his older brother Hunter and their parents.
Hunter was 6 when he said, hey Dad, I want to have a go at motocross. I'm like, really? All right, and our local club was Kilcoy Motocross Club. So away we went. It just became apparent that, Hunter's got a pretty natural talent in this.
2015, I just turned 15 and we went with a Yamaha team. That year went really well. I won everything in Australia and a team reached out and it was Factory Kawasaki of Europe. And they said, hey, we want you to come race for us. We want to give you a contract.
They sold their house that my parents lived in. My dad, he was a big drag car guy and he sold his drag car, left their friends, family for us to try and have at least a chance of being successful or someone in this sport.
What we went through, and me especially, in those 3 and a bit years we were in Europe, feel like I've lived more life than some people have lived their whole life. Not being legal in the country at some point, being promised things, not getting those things. The big boss of Kawasaki Europe said, hey, look, sorry, just go home. We'll figure something out another time. And we were like, yeah, we kind of can't. Like, we have nothing. We have nothing, and we've spent a lot of our money here.
Me and my dad would be driving to some part in Europe to ride for a race, and it was months and months and months that my mum and dad spent apart. A lot of the time that would break families apart, and they obviously stuck together throughout the whole thing.
We got 3 10s and a 20. 3 10s and a 20, Johnny said. Beautiful. Take it easy, obviously. Watch out for the greasy parts on the track.
Being forced to sink or swim, racing in so many different countries all around the world, you just see so much. You see the good side and the bad side of every different country, and you see what people are going through. You have experiences, you show up and you have a rental car booked, you get to the airport, but someone didn't show up to work in Russia because they just didn't feel like it, so you're stuck and you sleep in the airport. Like just little bits and pieces like that, where you're forced to figure something out.
Without realising it, because I was busy working, mechanicking, like I had a mechanic for both the boys in Europe a lot of the time. I think Hunter took a lot of the weight of the success of our family onto his shoulders, so I think he tried too hard. And that's where I think when we got to America, he really wanted to succeed so bad that he pushed himself too hard instead of just being a little more patient. You know, we were just going back to work ethic, more laps, train harder, and it didn't work.
In his first year racing in the U.S., Hunter got injured 3 times. He broke his collarbone twice, and then separately tore several ligaments in his knee. From that point on, Hunter has struggled to beat his younger brother.
When I was younger, I was obviously young, dumb, arrogant, and nah, he'll never beat me, he'll never beat me. But Dad would always say, like, if he doesn't become better than you, then we've failed, Jett.
I think you rely so much on your instinct of just fixing it. I want you to get more precise and put more effort in here to make sure you enter correctly every time. Hunter would tell Jett everything he knew. So when you're a tradesman in any field, whether it's a tradie on a job site or in an office, if you're teaching someone below you everything you know, they should naturally be better than you because they know everything you know and then they've had more experiences than you at a quicker rate. So that's how our family stayed together, is we work as a family and stay united, and we just try to make sure Jett learns as quick as he can. The last few years, Hunter's now been learning back off of Jett. Now the tide's turned. Hunter, you go watch what Jett's doing and we learn off of him, and that's what Hunter's done now, and Hunter's slowly bridging that gap. But Hunter doesn't care. He said to Jett, mate, I don't care if I don't win another championship. He said, but by Lord, you better win them. If it ain't me, it better be you. He's going to try his hardest, don't get me wrong, but he knows Jett's just a freak.
And preparing for Supercross is a lot that goes into it. One is myself and then also the bike. I did 2 weeks of off the bike training in Santa Barbara with my trainer, Peter Park. Got through that, was really good, and then kind of start riding and building into fitness for motos, trying to get every inch of progress that we can make before A1 is kind of the goal, and be a lot better than I was last year. Every year the sport evolves, so even if I came in better than I was last year, the speed gets higher. You got to kind of take a step every year in the off season, and that's what I'm searching for right now, trying to get that edge on everybody and come in and win A1.
For Chase, bike testing and fitness preparation will shift from KTM's headquarters in Southern California to the Baker's Factory training facility in Center Hill, Florida, run by legendary Supercross trainer Eldon Baker. Although most riders on the Red Bull KTM race team are required to train with Eldon, Sexton fought to remain with his previous trainer, Peter Park.
I was pretty hard-nosed about that decision. I wanted to be with Peter, and I didn't really feel like I needed to change. I don't lack fitness. So I was just like, yeah, I don't really want to train with Eldon. Not that I have anything against him, but for me, I feel like I'm on the best program with the best trainer, and I'm not going to give that up anytime soon.
While Sexton struggled during his first few months on a KTM, he returned with a vengeance and won the 2024 Motocross Championship.
Strong to the end, unbelievable! Sexton, 40th to first, sweeps Hangtown with the 1-1.
Was able to get through that next level for me as a rider and as a person. It was the way I was winning the races. I was coming from the back. I won 7 races in a row. And that's something I've never done before. I don't think I've ever won more than 1 or 2 races in a row in my life. Makes you that much more motivated to do it again this year.
An injury forced Jett Lawrence out of the motocross season early. But when he returned to racing later that fall, he was as good as ever. The upcoming 2025 Supercross Championship will likely be a showdown between Sexton and the Lawrence brothers, Hunter and Jett, making it also a showdown between KTM, Chase's current team, and Honda, the team he left immediately before the Lawrence brothers would have become both competition and teammates.
We tried hard to keep Chase Sexton on the team. He's the best rider at the time in the 450 class, and to have Jett Lawrence and Chase Sexton would have been incredible. The reason why Chase decided to move on, probably two reasons. I mean, the one was that particularly in 2022, he had a lot of falls that were, heartbreaking for everyone.
Oh, the lead is down. Chase Sexton is down. He has crashed and crashed hard.
The leader, Chase Sexton, is down.
Oh my goodness. Sexton has dropped it from the lead.
And then there was this guy named Jett Lawrence coming up that was going to be his teammate, who was going to probably get a lot of attention and be really tough. And specifically in motorsports, you always want to beat your teammate. You want to be number one, top dog. And if you're going to be sharing the spotlight or the attention of the team with some young punk, then you go be the number one guy at a different team.
I honestly didn't have a problem being teammates with Jett. Like, no matter if I'm teammates with him or not, I'm still gonna have to go out there and beat him and race him every weekend, and I can do it on pretty much any bike. When I'm on, I don't think there's anyone on the track that can beat me. And I think that's why even if I don't qualify good or I don't have a good heat race, I always go to the line confident in myself and believe in what I can do on a bike. Even last year when I wasn't comfortable, I was able to make it work. Maybe not wins, but I was able to bridge that gap. But I think throughout the years, all the things that I've been tested with, it has kind of taught me to believe in myself and always bet on myself. It's a lot of fun riding a dirt bike when you're comfortable. So it's nice to have that feeling, and found some stuff today that we haven't really had since I've been on the KTM. So it's been good. And like I said, there's a lot more testing we're still gonna do, but today we made some big step, which is nice, at least for me mentally.
It is the first race of the year and is situated close to much of the Supercross industry, media, and race teams in Southern California, often making Anaheim 1 the most attended and discussed race of the year. The day before the race is press day and will give the media their first chance to talk to the riders. There are 5 former champions who will line up at Anaheim 1 in 2025. For Jett Lawrence, he is no longer the young rookie underdog, but instead the expected winner and the target of every other racer.
I think for my stubbornness with just how I am and how competitive I am, I think there's not really if I get to this goal, then that's enough. I kind of have just the one goal, and it's to be the best of all time, and it's a lot easier said than done, for sure. I feel like I've been blessed with my skills, talent, and work ethic. It's definitely not impossible. So for me, it's just becoming one of the most successful motocross races ever, being the highest paid. I mean, a lot of people say it's bad going after the money or racing for the money, but I mean, for me, it's something that I never had as a kid. My parents, of what they've sacrificed, even though we've done very well so far, but it still feels unpaid. I still got to pay more. And when I mean pay, it's not meaning money and stuff like that. It's still the success side of thing of race wins and trying to beat records. Me being the best, when I hang my boots up, I feel like that would feel pretty complete and given back to my parents of what they've sacrificed.
During practice in the 2 qualifying sessions early in the day, questions began to arise about whether or not Honda's preseason bike testing had been effective. Jett consistently had comments about the bike's performance, and Hunter crashed in practice.
Yeah, I was just getting at the end, hey, getting a little left to right.
It goes back to wait it, and then it just, sure enough,
it took off. It just takes off on you. I think we can make it better. I'm just not sure which way, what way we want to go.
There's no ease in riding the woods. It's still difficult, to try and keep straight and make it go at the same time.
Jett has youth, he has talent, he has confidence, he has a good team, he pretty much has a good setup. But I think if there's anyone that could dethrone him, I would say that would be Chase. And that's who I'm banking on.
5 champions lining up on the grid It's time to race. It's time to bring the action. This is A1. To the roar of the crowd, Jorge Prado. Lawrence gets caught up in a tough block. Jett Lawrence is last and stuck in a tough block.
Look who it is out front.
Tomac. Listen to the roar of the crowd. They love this legend, and he's down. No. Oh, and he gets run over by Sexton.
Oh no! Oh no! Jett down in the sand.
Wow.
What a nightmare.
Get worse for him.
What a nightmare. Big mistakes off the start. Now he goes down in the sand. This is just the absolute worst start to a title defense that you would want if you're Jett Lawrence. And what an opportunity for these three out front right now.
Here comes Sexton putting pressure on Jason Anderson. Sexton through the sand, tried to go on the inside of Anderson. Isn't there yet. Anderson's got the inside run here and blocks it and makes him tough.
You know Anderson is not going to make it easy. Chase may have a little bit more pace. Looks like Chase has a run up the inside.
Sexton to the lead.
Trying to think of the last time I've seen him look this confident.
Nice move from Hunter Lawrence. He gets by. There's Cooper in the background.
They're watching 96. Hunter Lawrence trying to get around Jorge Prado.
No, Hunter Lawrence on the inside of Prado. Nice move with authority.
Uh-oh, no. Hunter down at the end of the whoops, entering that sand section. And he crashed there this morning a couple times in free practice. Yeah, not the best day so far for the Lawrence brothers. Let's see how he can recover.
Look who's out in front to the tune of nearly 4 seconds. Sexton is saying bye-bye.
He just put down a 104.7. He's the only guy in the race right now in that 104 range, over a second faster than Ken Roxon, who's in second.
Here's Jett Lawrence, and every position here is going to be super important because Jett was sitting in 15th, now it's 14th. When he was in 15th, if positions remained as they were, he would go to San Diego with an 18-point deficit against Chase Sexton. Did you predict that? Chase Sexton, he has done so many things in an amazing career. He's a champion at Supercross and Motocross, but it's his first A1 win. Chase Sexton wins Anaheim. 11th for the 96 of Hunter Lawrence and 12th for the reigning champion.
Should have went to your jumping earlier, HJ. I was like, mate.
Working, just started working.
Oh, at the end.
No, like skimming it, I felt like I was getting around.
You're getting better. I didn't think so, eh? It looked like too...
In there.
Really?
I honestly thought I had a flat fire.
Really?
The whole fire. Every whoop it hit, it's just zing, zing, zing.
Hunter was the same. It was just like, and I was like, go to jumping, mate, go to jumping. And he just didn't.
I tried jumping, and the thing just like just sends you like this and then like this.
Yeah. Yeah, it didn't look nice to ride, that's for sure. Reasonably happy with the boys, but we're just a bit behind on our bike, so we'll just have to go back to work on that. And what we've gone through as a family in the last 7 years, I'm really proud of them. They'll never quit, my boys, you know.
Definitely have had our highs and lows, but I'm so proud of my team, the guys who put the hours in and the work and just stayed patient and just kept chipping away at it. And I gotta say, I felt a little confident all day. Actually, once we started, I felt like we were in the hunt. Yeah, it turned out awesome. I'm sure Jett is gonna be back next week with a vengeance. But yeah, we'll enjoy it the next 5 days.